Hi guys, it's Xenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in case you missed my previous video, I will link it up right here. I basically went onto the Sephora website and I looked at their best-selling list in the fragrance category and I ranked each of those perfumes out of 10. There was a lot more perfumes on that list. I just couldn't get to them. I think I did like 10 or 11 perfume ratings in the previous video. And in this video, I'm gonna actually review 10 more best-selling perfumes. On this list, you can also find colognes, which as I said in my previous video, I will not be going over because I'm not familiar with them. So anyways, without further ado, before we get into this video, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. So the first perfume that I'm going to be talking about, this is Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb. I do not own Flower Bomb, but I can definitely 100% speak on it because I have smelled it many times, and even though I don't currently own it, I have owned it many times in the past. I think I've owned it like at least 2 times, and the second time I owned it, I bought it and then I returned it because it was a good scent, and that's what I'm kind of gonna say in this video. I actually really like the way that Flower Bomb smells. I would almost disagree with the name. Like, Flower Bomb makes you think that it's a flower bomb, and it's not. To me, more than anything, it's super sweet. I guess it's sweet florals, and I'm guessing that that's coming from the vanilla that Flower Bomb has in the base. I think the vanilla really dominates over all the other notes, which is completely okay with me because I love sweet fragrances to begin with. So I know that it's kind of shocking for me to not own Flower Bomb because that is such a beautiful sweet fragrance. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with the fragrance. The only reason why I don't own it is because I feel like I have so many scents with the same type of scent profile in my collection. So when I did have it in my collection, I was just finding that I was not gravitating to it. And it's not like it's the most inexpensive scent for it to just like sit there collecting dust. A full size of Flower Bomb is like $168. So for that reason, I will rate Flower Bomb an 8 out of 10. I would give it a full 10 out of 10 because scent wise, I think it's beautiful. I just have a lot of perfumes like that. Like, if that was your only perfume and you loved that type of scent family, then that's amazing. But I feel like because I have so many other perfumes in my collection that kind of smell similar to it, I just didn't feel like I needed another almost $200 perfume that was just gonna sit there. But I didn't want to go completely without it. This video is not sponsored, by the way. Dossier, if you do want to sponsor me, let me know because I'd love to work together. But this video is not sponsored. But I was walking in Walmart and I saw that they had a little end cap of Dossier, and one of the perfumes that they had was the dupe for Flower Bomb, which is Gourmand White Flowers, which I guess is exactly how I would explain Flower Bomb. But yeah, this smells exactly like Flower Bomb, like to a T. Like, they really did not miss. Another big reason why I didn't keep around Flower Bomb is the fact that it didn't last on me. I know some people say it lasts like forever on them. Some people say it doesn't last at all. On me, it didn't last at all. It smells so nice. Like, so good. The vanilla in it is so prominent, but it's such a like beautifully refined vanilla in such a feminine way. I can't even describe it, but it's so good. If you love sweeter fragrances, definitely check out Flower Bomb, or if you want to save a little bit of money, check out Gourmand White Flowers from Dossier. Having smelled the original, I can 1000% say that they smell exactly the same. The next perfume is another perfume that I don't own, but I do own a dupe of it and I have smelled it in stores. I think I've smelled this at like Saks Fifth Avenue or Nordstrom, one of those stores. They had like a bunch of Tom Ford fragrances out, and that's where I smelled Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Let me start off by saying, in my personal opinion, there hasn't ever been a Tom Ford fragrance that I have loved. Like, I have smelled so many of them just going into stores and spraying them out. I've sprayed them on my entire body to see, you know, how they react on me. And I just feel like they're a little too strong. Maybe my nose is just not accustomed to that level of unique because their fragrances really are out there. I will say though, Lost Cherry is one of the fragrances from them that I feel like is kind of easy to get into. Like, the other ones kind of are a little bit more polarizing, whereas I don't think Lost Cherry is. The problem with it is it does not last, and it is $375. So that is completely unacceptable, and the fact that I don't have it in my collection is completely fine with me, and I will never get it because I own this. This is so much better because it actually performs well. in my opinion. Obviously, all of this is in my opinion and in my experiences, so if you have a different experience, your experience is your experience. This is the Okja Sinful. Again, this is not sponsored. This video is not sponsored. I have included this in a sponsored video when they sent me these products, but I'm not obligated, obviously, to say anything good about them. But oh my god, I love this fragrance. It is so good, and I've heard a lot of people say, people that actually own Tom Ford Lost Cherry, that the cherry literally disappears. Like, you can almost not smell it at all after like a few minutes. Whereas in this one, I feel like it lingers on. I never have that experience where I like spray this and then I don't smell it. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. This is so sexy. I don't even know how to describe it. It is a cherry scent, but it's like a dark cherry. It's not like your typical playful, bright cherry. She's dark. And I would consider this more of like a fall and winter scent. But honestly, I'm thinking I'm gonna pack this with me on my summer vacation next month, because I'm smelling this right now and I'm like falling in love all over again. Wow, that smells so good. Anyways, this video is not about this perfume. It's about Tom Ford Lost Cherry. My rating of it as a scent, 10 out of 10. Performance-wise, literally 2 out of 10. In my opinion, go on the Okja website, pick up Sinful, and you're good to go. The next fragrance that is on this list, I'm so shocked to see this perfume on here because I feel like this perfume had its time. I feel like she was really loved. It was a very, very popular scent back in its day, but I feel like I don't really hear anybody talk about this fragrance anymore, really. And that is Versace Bright Crystal. I don't even remember the last time I heard anybody talk about this fragrance, so I'm super shocked to see it as a bestseller. Like, I guess people still love it, and I guess people are still repurchasing it. I have smelled Bright Crystal many times. I'm pretty sure my mom has owned it in the past, because this is more so like her type of fragrance preference. It's like this fresh, fruity, floral type of scent. Very bright and very playful, just like a lot of Versace's perfumes are, I feel like. I think this is a pretty perfume. It's kind of like pretty flirty. I don't own it and I don't think I will, just because I have some other type of like fresh, fruity florals in my collection, and it's not anything like unique and crazy for me to like go and seek it out. I think as far as a rating, I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10. It's a nice scent, but it doesn't go beyond that for me. Like, it's just nice. The next scent is, of course, the one and only Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I feel like this is like the scent of the summer. Like, as soon as summer starts rolling around, I feel like people just take this scent out, because it really just is the epitome of summer. It's all about citrus, and it's a really unique citrus fresh scent. There's a lot of fresh citrusy scents out there, obviously, but this one does it in a very unique way. It's very original. The one that is on the Sephora list is the Light Blue Eau de Toilette. I don't own the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum. I own the Eau Intense. The Eau de Parfum doesn't even last for me, so I can't even imagine the lasting power of the EDT. So that's why I got the Eau Intense, which is, it's basically, they all kind of revolve around the same type of scent, and they just kind of get a little bit more intense. And the Eau Intense version is just like a really enhanced citrusy one, because it's so like crisp and fresh. It almost leans on like a unisex side. It's not masculine, but it's unisex because anybody can wear it. There's nothing in it that screams masculine or feminine. I just realized I have like this box of little samples, and I actually have Light Blue Eau de Toilette, so I can tell you guys, it smells really nice. It basically smells like the Eau Intense version, just not as intense. It's just really light. I can tell just by smelling it on here that this would probably last like 10 minutes on my skin, but I wouldn't go for the Eau de Toilette version. If you like this scent, go for the Eau Intense, and you're really gonna get the most out of the scent. As far as my rating of Light Blue, I'm gonna go based off of the rating for my Eau Intense. I would probably rate it like an 8 out of 10, just because I think the scent is nice, but I don't gravitate towards it as much, especially now that it's summer and I should be using it. I feel like I'm not. I feel like there's other perfumes that I'm reaching for, so I wouldn't exactly rank that like super high, but at the same time, I don't dislike. The next couple perfumes on the best-selling list are actually two perfumes by Replica. I have gotten a lot of requests to review Replica perfumes, and I actually don't own a single Replica fragrance in my entire collection. That's simply because I just haven't found one that I loved. I've smelled a lot of them. I've smelled the most popular ones that most people love. I just they didn't wow me. And again, they're a little bit on the more expensive side. So I feel like when it comes to fragrances like that, I have to really, really love, love, love a fragrance to the point where I'm like, I need that in my collection. Otherwise, I just can't justify spending that amount of money on something that I just like. So the first one is By the Fireplace. I have smelled By the Fireplace, and I actually owned a little travel size of it like a long time ago, but it just doesn't really do that great on my skin. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I find that really overly smoky scents just don't really do well on me. Like if I put a smoky scent on that has some sort of like smoky note in it, it makes me smell like I just smoked cigarettes or something. Like, you know, when you go into a club or like a hookah lounge and then you come out and then like you have that like smoke scent all over you, I don't like that. And so why would I pay? And not only pay a little bit, why would I pay all this money to smell like a scent that I don't like? I don't think it's a bad scent, and I think if it worked for me, there's other notes in it that I do enjoy the combination of, but that smoky scent just dominates over everything else on my skin. So that's why I don't know if I would ever like repurchase that again. Maybe I will have to think about it in the fall and winter time, because that's definitely not something that you can wear in the spring and summer. Like it's too much. As far as my rating of it, I don't know, I guess I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Just right in between, because I don't really hate it, but I don't love it. So yeah. And then the next replica perfume is actually Beach Walk, which I have a sample of right here. This is described as sun-kissed salty skin, and I have never liked Beach Walk. Beach Walk smells exactly like Golden Sunflower by Bath & Body Works. To a T. It smells exactly like it. I'm pretty sure I decluttered Golden Sunflower. It might actually be on my Mercari right now, because I just don't really love this scent. This scent to me, like, it smells okay. It's not a scent that I'm like, oh, that's disgusting. But it smells like sunscreen mixed with like bug spray. Like bug repellent. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. It's just like an odd combo, and I don't necessarily hate it, but I wouldn't like to smell like this. So I would probably rate this like a 3 out of 10. This is just not like my type of scent preference. Moving on from that, this next scent, I think if you watch my channel, you already know my rating of this perfume. And ever since I told you my opinions on this, I've had a lot of people come at me and tell me that I need to retry it because this is like your all-time favorite perfume. And you just don't understand why I don't like it, but I just don't. I've tried it so many times, and I have the same opinion of it every single time. And that is Vanilla 28 by Kayali. I will say, I don't hate all Kayali perfumes. I don't like a majority of them, to be completely honest, because I was at Sephora and I smelled Deja Vu. I smelled this one in like a pink bottle. I smelled a bunch of them, and I actually bought one of them, which, if you guys have made it to this portion of the video, let me know which Kayali perfume you think I picked up and that I actually love. You will see it in an upcoming haul video, but if you can guess which Kayali perfume I got, based off of my taste and based off of what I just told you, comment down below and I'll let you know if you got it right. As far as Vanilla 28, you already know my opinion on it if you watch my channel. I do not like it. I don't like it at all. I purchased the full-size bottle and I literally returned it immediately because I was trying so hard to like it at first because I know the hype of that scent. So when I saw it in store, I was like so excited to get my hands on it, and I was just disappointed. I am going to kind of describe it in the same way that I've described it many times. To me, it smells like an old abandoned church. It doesn't pass the vibe. Like, it is like this very weird, mature vanilla that doesn't sit right with me, or I guess it doesn't sit right with my skin chemistry. If it works for you, that's amazing. I wish it worked for me, but it does not. So honestly, my rating of Vanilla 28 is probably gonna be like a 2 out of 10. That's horrible, but that's how I feel about it. Okay, so to liven up the mood again, let's go up to a really high rated perfume that I love. Carolina Herrera Good Girl, the original. I have it somewhere. I own Good Girl, I own Good Girl Supreme, and I love them. The only ones that I don't love are the brand new ones that have come out, like the cherry version, and then Very Good Girl, the one in the red heel. I don't like those. On my skin, it's almost like they turn bad. Like there's something really sharp and almost bitter about those fragrances. I think it's because they have lychee in them or something, and it just, that note just doesn't, it turns sour on my skin, so I'm not feeling that. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the original Good Girl, which is an iconic, amazing scent. It's super hard to describe, and there's literally like 3,500 notes in this perfume. It's super complex but really well refined. It's not overpowered by anything. There's beautiful like woodsy notes, but it's also balanced by vanillas, there's sweet notes, there's florals, there's sweet florals, there's fruits, everything imaginable, but it just smells incredible. It's a scent that for some reason does really well with men. Every time I've worn that around my husband, he always mentions it. Like, he always tells me I smell good with that scent. It's like he always recognizes it every single time that I wear it, and he loves it. It's literally one of the most complimented scents ever, and I can't explain it to you because it's not just like one thing. I guess it's kind of like a sweet, woody, but not overly woody scent, if that makes any sense. But I've explained it a lot more in depth in the past in my previous videos, so you can check those out. But that's how I feel about Good Girl. 10 out of 10. I don't even have to think twice about it. 10 out of 10. The next fragrance is Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. I also have this in my collection, again, somewhere up there if you can spot it. I don't think I can from here. Gorgeous Gardenia is a beautiful fragrance, which completely caught me off guard because I don't like gardenia scents, but this one doesn't smell like gardenia at all, so I don't know why they took it in this direction. It's a very mass appealing scent. I feel like there's nothing really polarizing about it, and I always explain it in the same way, and that is, it basically is like the grown-up version of Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy. It's just like a little bit sexier, and she's a little bit more grown now. And that's basically the gist of it. It's just super sugary. Like, there's a brown sugar note in it. So it's very sweet, and it's honestly not even that florally. Like, I barely even smell florals in it. I don't even smell any hint of gardenia, which for me is a good thing. I guess my rating of Gorgeous Gardenia is probably like a 9 out of 10 because I really enjoy this scent. And then the last fragrance that I have to review today is a fragrance that I haven't talked about in a minute, and my opinion on it has changed since I originally hauled it. In fact, I don't even have it anymore, and I don't think I ever told you guys why I decluttered it, or even that I decluttered it in the first place. And that is Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. I made a whole video where I talked about the house of Juliet Has a Gun, and I went into depth on all of, like, I had this little fragrance sampler set, so I talked about a bunch of their fragrances. If you want to check that video out, I'll link it right here. And I told you guys that one of my favorite fragrances from that sampler set was Not a Perfume, and I picked it up in a full size, and I loved it for a good while, and then it started to turn. I don't know why this happens to me, but sometimes I will really like a fragrance in the beginning, and then I'll start to not like it. That doesn't always happen with me. Like, usually I'm very black and white. If I like a perfume, I always like it. But something happened, and I'm not really sure with that perfume. At first, I liked it. It was okay. And then it started getting really musky on me, like a little too musky, to where it was kind of like throwing me off. And it was almost getting to the point where it was like that bad musky scent. And it was turning smoky on my skin, which is weird. There's no smoky note in it, but there is ambergris, and I think ambergris is the only note in it. So the reason why it's called Not a Perfume is because it's not technically a perfume. Perfume is composed usually of like top, middle, base notes, or some sort of like composition of notes, and this one literally has one note in it. And that's because ambergris is a type of note that reacts differently on each person, so it just ends up like adapting to your skin. And at first it was like a nice clean musk scent, and people say it's a really complimented scent because it's kind of like almost like a pheromone type of perfume. People will smell you, but you will not smell yourself. It's almost like people can smell different things than what you can smell out of that scent, because that's just what that note does. But after a while, I just found that the musk was just getting a little too like unbearable for me, and I had to give it away. So it is not currently in my collection. I have not revisited it since. I don't know if I ever really will, but yeah, that's kind of like my change of opinion, I guess, on that scent. So I guess my rating now kind of stands at probably like, I don't know, 6 out of 10, kind of down to the middle, because I just don't really know where I stand and I haven't really smelled it in a minute ever since I gave it away. So yeah, that's really all I can say about it right now. All right, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this part 2. I'm pretty sure that that was all of the fragrances on the best-selling list, but I think that they change, so maybe after a few months, if they have been updated, I will revisit this video and do another part to it. Let me know if you guys want me to do like the Ulta version of this, like the best-selling, top-rated perfumes at Ulta or any other stores. Please let me know in the comments, but that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!